Somewhere in the silence before dawn, the sky cracked open. What followed wasn't thunder. It was a revelation wrapped in fire. On May 19, 1953, at precisely 5:05 a.m., the flat deserts of Nevada bore witness to more than just another atomic test. Under the code name Upshot Knothole, a nuclear detonation was set off at the Nevada test site. But something else happened. Something not found in any declassified military log. A disc-shaped craft was seen descending rapidly through the sky, veering south toward Las Vegas before disappearing into the distant mountains. 2 days later, government officials quietly assembled a team of 40 engineers. Their destination? The outskirts of Kingman, Arizona, 175 miles from the blast site. Their mission? Classified. The engineers arrived under the cloak of darkness, their transport guarded, their destination swarmed by armed military police. Awaiting them was a 40-foot-wide disc, flawlessly intact. No burns, no impact damage. It sat in eerie silence, as if it had simply landed by intent, not by force. Accompanying it were 4 non-human entities. The wreckage and its occupants were soon transported to a location then only whispers could name. Groom Lake, later to be known as Area 51. Hidden deep in the Nevada desert, encircled by mountains, Area 51 became the cradle of America's most clandestine secrets. It was there that the craft was studied and the beings contained. Among them, one would become legend, a sentient extraterrestrial being, later dubbed J-Rod. According to former Navy pilot and USAF engineer Captain Bill U. House, J-Rod wasn't just a prisoner, he was a collaborator. Tasked with assisting in the reverse engineering of alien technology, J-Rod worked directly with scientists, speaking in mimicked human speech and offering technical guidance. He communicated like a parrot, strangely familiar, disturbingly uncanny. Another whistleblower, Dan Burrish, claimed he was brought in as a microbiologist to tend to J-Rod's health. Burrish described a long, covert relationship with the entity, which spanned years inside an underground chamber at Area 51. These claims weren't made lightly. Both men described sealed facilities, deep below the desert, housing secrets the world was never meant to see. And this was just the beginning. Rumors swirled of other beings, other deals. Tales emerged of alien-human cooperation in labs buried beneath the surface, technology exchanges, and a classified network of interspecies diplomacy. The question echoed louder. Has the US government been working with extraterrestrials since the 1950s? According to some researchers, yes. Perhaps the most astonishing tale involves a visitor named Valiant Thor. In 1957, a sleek UFO allegedly landed near Washington, D.C. A human-like figure stepped out and requested a meeting with President Dwight D. Eisenhower. Identified as Valiant Thor, the entity claimed to be an emissary from another world, deeply concerned about humanity's nuclear ambitions. Unlike the stories of grey aliens and monstrous creatures, Thor looked entirely human. He walked into the Pentagon and held a conversation with the president himself, offering advice on global policy and interstellar responsibility. Was Thor a mere delusion of an over-imaginative insider? Or something far more profound, a planetary ambassador on a mission of mercy? The plot only thickens. In 1943, in the thick of World War II, Lockheed Aircraft Corporation was given a nearly impossible task: build a jet fighter faster and more advanced than any the world had seen. Within 143 days, Kelly Johnson and his team delivered the P-80 Shooting Star. Their work would later form the roots of Lockheed's infamous Skunk Works, the think tank behind the most secretive aircraft in history. But Johnson wasn't just an aviation genius. In December 1953, he became a key UFO witness. In Agoura, California, he and his colleagues spotted a strange object in the sky. An object so alien, Johnson defied military skepticism to report it. His sketches were filed into Project Blue Book, the US government's official UFO investigation archive. What's even more unsettling? Just 2 years later, Johnson handpicked the site for a new secret airbase. Its name, Area 51. Was this merely coincidence? Or had Johnson found the perfect place to house the technology he knew wasn't from this world? Fast forward to 2018. In Rachel, Nevada, just outside the boundary of Area 51, researchers explored a new mystery. Underground tunnels, possibly connected to the base, hidden beneath abandoned mines. Miner Christian G. claimed he'd seen evidence of mass excavation, earth vanishing without trace. The method? Heap leaching, a technique involving cyanide and mercury to break down rock, allegedly being used to conceal massive underground expansion. Why dig so deep? To hide something too big to keep above ground, perhaps? Whispers speak of a vast subterranean network connecting not just Area 51, but military installations across the country. Starting at Cheyenne Mountain in Colorado, the tunnels allegedly snake through Dulce, New Mexico, Los Alamos, Albuquerque, Roswell, and back to Nevada. A hidden subway for the government's deepest secrets, and maybe its alien allies. In 1967, USAF Captain David Fruhauf became one of the elite few to pilot the SR-71 Blackbird. He later transferred to Area 51, commuting via Janet Airlines, a secretive fleet of windowless planes ferrying personnel to and from the base. Each day, Fruhauf watched a select group board a separate bus, bound not for the visible hangars, but for a cloaked location known only as Site 4, or S4. Years later, when a man named Bob Lazar claimed to have worked at S4 reverse engineering alien craft, Fruhauf was stunned. The transport method Lazar described matched exactly. Fruhauf even confirmed that former subordinates remembered Lazar's presence on base. Critics have long sought to discredit Lazar, yet Fruhauf's admission lends his story unprecedented weight. Could S4 house the very ships recovered from incidents like Kingman? Could it be where J-Rod once advised engineers? And if so, what else lies in the shadows? As silence swallows the desert night and radar scans an empty sky, the truth may be buried, not just in history, but under miles of Nevada rock. Beneath forgotten mines, behind locked doors, and inside black programs so secret they may outlive even the men who created them. Because the question is no longer if they came. The question is, how long have they been here? But remember this, what you've just heard is only a fragment of the shadow. The files are scattered, the secrets are buried. But at DocuDepth, we don't just report the strange, we descend into it. If this journey stirred something in you, a question, a doubt, a spark, then join us. Subscribe to DocuDepth, where every click takes you closer to the truth buried beneath the noise. And remember, some mysteries don't want to be solved, but we're going to try anyway.